Hey guys, welcome back to Choosing Recovery. I'm Olivia.
I'm Scott A.
And today we have such an incredible story. Let's jump into it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What was your drug of choice?
Methamphetamines.
So what age did you start using?
12.
And that was the age that you started on methamphetamines?
Methamphetamines and actually cocaine.
So how long have you used for?
On and off about 20 years. I was clean for about 7. And then I went to jail and it was successful there. So I used that as my clean date, and it was 4/22, 18, no, 19. Yeah. My bad.
You're okay.
Congratulations.
Yeah. So, who did your addiction affect?
Everybody, but mainly my children.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, what led you to get clean?
My children, and I ended up losing my children. Not to like the state or anything, but I did choose for them to go live with their dad because I was going down a pretty rough path and I wasn't going to drag them through it. So I chose for them to go live with their dad, and I ended up going to prison.
And how many children do you have?
4.
Awesome.
The amount of strength that you had to know where you were at in your life and to know that you didn't want to put your children through that is absolutely incredible, and I bet it was a hard decision to make as a mother to...
Yeah, there's a lot of people that'll say that I'm a bad mother because I chose drugs over my children. You know, maybe in some people's eyes that may be true, but at that time in my life, I knew that I had to do what was best for them, and I like to.
Yes.
I like to use my past to push me forward, not hold me back. I don't like to look at it like I chose drugs over my kids. It's a battle for anybody who's addicted to anything.
Absolutely.
It's hard to deal with. But they shouldn't have to go through that with you. So I feel like I made the decision that was best for them at that time.
And
I totally agree with you.
And a lot of people don't make that choice. A lot of people just keep going with it and
bring the kid into the suffering.
So
right.
You're very strong-willed, especially with your decision-making when you're using. I can only imagine how successful you already are, and how successful you're going to be down the road. So again, very proud of you. By the way, you said you had 18 months clean now.
Yes.
Super proud of you. Super proud of you.
Thank you.
So what led you to get clean?
My children would be the ultimate answer to that, but me being locked up, and I'd like to say that being locked up kind of limits your accessibility to it, but it doesn't. It's there too. Like I said, I used once while I was locked up, and you know, it was all around me, but the second time it came around to me, I just decided, you know, that's not the life that I want to live. That's not what I want my children to go through. When I get out of here, I'm not coming back, and I'm going to be there for my children. So.
And that's all it took. That's incredible, is to know that the environment doesn't just impact people. Like, to know that no matter where you're at, if you make that decision, enough is enough. Today is the day that I move forward and move on. And I love the way that you explain about your past, how it's pushing you forward. It's not pulling you back anymore. That's incredible.
And that's what makes you
I tell
wonderful.
people all the time that have hard past. You know, you can't. It's up here. You have to look at where you were and where you are and where you can be. You can either choose to let the past hold you in the past, or to let it push you forward. And I choose to let it push me forward.
Absolutely.
That's incredible. So, what is your biggest accomplishment within your recovery?
Getting my children back. Like I said earlier, I have a video on TikTok, which is the one I think that y'all found, of me being reunited with my children after 2 years of not seeing them in person. My youngest son is 2. He was a baby when I went to jail. His grandma had him his whole life up until recently, but that's my biggest accomplishment. And like I said, all of the comments that are on that video touch my heart, but the ones that say, you're such an inspiration, thank you for sharing your story, those are the ones that, I mean, I appreciate everybody I'm proud of you, then, way to go. But just to know that I've touched somebody else and that I inspire somebody else to live, that it can be done, that is important to me.
Absolutely.
Because you're helping somebody, and
Yes.
I think that's one of the most satisfying feelings in the world, because I've had a lot of those people that have helped me, and
Yeah.
so.
It's
The
the
crazy thing is, not being selfish, but helping myself and then sharing my story. I didn't know I was going to be able to help somebody else.
Exactly.
But it touches me to know that me just being able to change my life around for myself and for my kids, that shows somebody else that they can do it too. It is possible.
And that's the whole point of this channel, we all have the same message, just a different story.
Right.
And people like to know that they're not alone out there, that they have people that they relate to, that they're not the odd one in the world. So, because
Right.
loneliness is a very, it sucks. It does, it sucks. So, even if this helps one person, we're doing our job.
Right.
So, because it's helping us when we do this, it helps me when we do these interviews, our videos, so.
Right. I mean, it helps me. Like a lot of people who've been through traumatic things, they're not comfortable sharing their stories. Because it triggers them, and that's fine. But for me, sharing my story, talking about it, it helps me, again, to focus on where I was and where I am and where I'm going to be.
Absolutely.
It helps me to talk about it. And everybody handles things differently. So.
absolutely. So, if you could say something to someone that is still actively using drugs, what would you tell them?
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Living, being there for your loved ones, loving yourself is what's worth it. The more that you put yourself in that position, the harder life's gonna be. Just tell them to love themselves, and it takes time to do that, but
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Absolutely. So, if you could say something to a family member of a loved one that is struggling with an addiction, what would you say to the family member?
Don't beat yourself up over not being able to help them. They know that you love them. Addiction is not something that they chose to do, and it's very hard to overcome, but it is possible. But it's not, if they're not putting it down, it's not your fault. Don't beat yourself up over it. They have to want it, and also be proud of them for the accomplishments that they do achieve. If they have gotten clean for a week and relapse, don't focus on that relapse. Focus on, tell them, hey,
Yeah.
you made it a whole week. I know you can do it more. I mean, love yourself. Tell them that they are worth it. Don't focus on their relapse. Don't focus on that, because even as addicts, and I'm a recovered addict, but I'm still an addict.
Yeah.
Even as addicts, it hurts us more to hear how bad we've done you. And yes, we do know that we've done you bad and that we've disappointed you. And that hurts us inside. Just let us know that you're proud of our accomplishments. It helps for you to love us through. And
Absolutely.
I know it hurts. I know that addiction affects everybody, not just the addict. But it's not your fault when they can't get clean. And it's not something that they want to do. Trust me, it's not something that they want to do. They don't want to live like that, but it's hard.
It is. Good
Absolutely.
answer.
So, this is where we're pretty much just going to let you go ahead and talk about any of your struggles or accomplishments, whatever you feel you need to share.
I battle with more than just addiction. I have severe anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, mild depression. It's hard to live inside here, but at the same time, if you focus on what you want in life, it's not impossible. Just anybody out there that needs to hear this, love yourself because you're worth it. Your kids are worth it, your parents are worth it, your siblings are worth it, and they love you, and I'm proud of you. The first time I got in trouble with the law, and I was just, I knew that if I didn't get clean, that I was gonna either end up in jail or dead. This last time I lost my children, they went to live with their dad.
Right.
I chose for them to live with their dad because I knew that I was going down the wrong path and I didn't want to drag them through that. I ended up going to prison.
Wow.
And I was locked up for about 15 months, but believe it or not, I was able to get some in there, so I'm not clean a lot longer than I am because I did use while I was locked up. And at one point I just said, I'm not gonna participate in this anymore because it's not gonna come out for good. So I've been clean 18 months from that day.
Wow.
And to make a decision like that for yourself, it just shows that it is possible for people to want to be clean for themselves. A lot of people are.
Yes, and you have to want it.
Exactly.
And that's incredible to see that your because no matter what environment you are in, you can get clean from. And that's incredible that that is your story. You know how many people need to hear that? That's awesome.
A lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I hear people all the time saying stuff like, well, if I could just get out of this house, or if I could just get out of this town, or away from these people, you're going to find it everywhere. It's everywhere. And it's not so much your environment on the outside, it's your environment up here.
You bring yourself wherever you go.
To occupy myself, I don't want to cram Jesus down nobody's throat, but I pray. And I thank God for every day that I wake up. And I just focus on my kids, and I focus on other things, like things that I didn't get to experience while I was using. I think of, what do I want to try that I haven't tried, and then I go for it. Like, you set many goals, and you do that. You occupy your time with other things, and you avoid. I wouldn't necessarily say, cut off everybody that you know, because I do have a lot of connections, and I care about a lot of people that I used to run with. But I care about them from a distance. I won't go hang out with people. I feel like I'm strong enough to say no, but you never know what that day will bring. So you just kind of have to ease into it, and you gotta know your triggers, and you gotta avoid them.
Absolutely.
That's what I do.
So much wisdom. Wow. Yes. I love that. Incredible.
It is. It's things people need to hear. It's okay. You don't have to worry about hurting everyone's feelings. You gotta think about yourself for once in your life.
Right.
And
it's like I tell them people, I still get invites to go hang out with some of my old friends, and I'm like, I love you, I missed you, if you ever need me, don't be afraid to hit my inbox and talk to me, but at the same time, I love you, but I love me too.
Yeah.
And that's something that I haven't been able to say in a long time. It's taken me this long to love myself again. Because that stuff will take your soul away.
100%.
And you just don't care. But I finally do. I love me.
Great answer.
I love that.
Getting my kids back.
Yeah.
Amen.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, that's
good for you.
It's a struggle all in itself to take care of yourself, but to get your children back from coming from such a hard place in life just speaks volumes. You're gonna be emotional.
I put a video on TikTok of me getting my kids back, and I appreciate everybody telling me I'm so proud of you, but the best comment that I've gotten so far is all those that tell me you're such an inspiration to me. But I don't want to be like a leader or somebody. It touches me that I've been able to touch somebody else's life and show them that it is possible. And like I said, I've been on and off that stuff for over 20 years. And if I can do it, anybody can. You just have to want it.
Yeah.
You just have to want it.
Okay, so if you guys know me or you've been following me, you know that I just hit my 18-month sobriety mark. I've recently got custody back of my youngest son. And today, my older 3 kids who I've not seen in person in 2 years are coming to stay with me. Stay tuned.
Get him! Get him! Get him! Go get her, Jessup! Go get her, Jessup!
He's so big, ain't he?
I'm so happy.
Aw.
Thank you.
He's so big, ain't he, Casey? Oh, he's crying, Casey. Oh.
have to want it, and you have to start somewhere. And it doesn't matter if you're a day clean, an hour clean, 1,000 day clean. You've got to start somewhere, but you have to want it.
Yep.